How's it going, everybody? Today we are jumping back in Scum and we are going to take a look at some of the changes that update 1.2 brought to the NPCs. Now in the patch notes for update 1.2, it said that armed NPCs received new upgrades in their behavior and how they spawn as well. And when it comes to the way that they spawn, it says here that they have decided to rebalance how and where we are going to be able to encounter NPCs. They will now spawn according to the point of interest that we are exploring. So for example, if we are looting a really small town, we should only encounter level 1 or level 2 NPCs with melee weapons or bows and crossbows. But of course, even the lower tier NPCs can and will do this to us. Alright, so we have 2 NPCs here in this town. Actually, 3 of them, and they all have... But oh, they can still one-tap us. I was actually wearing armor there, so I think that one of the NPCs got me right in the forehead with an arrow or a crossbow bolt. But as I was saying, in towns, we should mostly see lower tier NPCs. Of course, these are official settings, so on community servers, things might be different depending on what changes the server owners implemented. But by default, after this latest update, we should see lower tier NPCs roaming around small points of interest. So if we spawn in fresh and then go to a nearby town, we shouldn't get jumped by high tier NPCs. We should mostly see lower tier NPCs and then of course zombies and maybe other players. So check it out, in the store there we have a couple of NPCs and it looks like they are all low level. This guy has, I think, a crossbow or a bow, and then there's a couple more in the back there with a crossbow. Then that guy there is dressed in orange as well, so I'm guessing he's a low-level NPC as well. Oh yeah, check it out, he's got a spear. Alright, somebody might one-tap me here again. They do have, you know, low-tier weapons, but that does not mean that they are not dangerous. They're still pretty sketchy. Now, of course, in most towns, we are going to have police stations, and they seem to have a whole different set of rules when it comes to the NPC spawns. So in the actual town, we have mostly level 1 and level 2 NPCs with bow, crossbows, melee weapons, but the police stations that we can find in the towns can actually spawn armed NPCs. Alright, let's see here. What kind of NPCs do we have in the police station? Whoa, 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 whoa. These guys are armed to the teeth. We might be in a tiny bit of trouble here. Oh. They have shotguns. Also, my suppressor is broken. I think I have another one here. Was that everybody? I don't hear any more footsteps or voices. 2 or 3 of them. It looked like they all had shotguns. So are these level 3 NPCs? We have shotgun here. Then I don't know what these guys had. It looks like the weapon is underneath them. Oh, that guy has a shotgun. Then I think the other one has a shotgun as well. But let's see, are they going to drop us the shotguns? So the weapon drop chance of NPCs should now be at 100%. So let's see. Are they going to drop us the weapons? First NPC did not drop us the shotgun, but they did drop some bullets for the shotgun. Let's see, what about this guys here? This guy dropped us the deagle. Alright, so one guy had the deagle, one guy had the shotgun, and then the last guy here, he had a shotgun. Alright, so 2 out of 3 NPCs dropped us their weapons. Alright, not bad. Shotgun and then the deagle. It's nice that they drop us, for example, the guy with the deagle, he dropped us the deagle, he dropped us a magazine for it, and then he also dropped us a couple of bullets. So we can load up this magazine, we can pick up this pistol, and have a working weapon in no time. Since we can find some decent loot in there, there's a chance that armed NPCs will guard the area, and I say that there's a chance because it's not always 100%. I checked out a few other police stations and some of them did have level 3 NPCs with shotguns and pistols, but one police station had only level 1 NPCs with bows and crossbows. And then some police stations can have only zombies in them or no enemies at all. They can be clear, but there is a small chance that armed NPCs will spawn in there. But the NPC spawns should follow a simple rule now. The better the loot, the higher the tier of the NPCs that we can encounter. A small town is not gonna have the greatest loot, so we are going to encounter tier 1 NPCs roaming around with, bows, crossbows, melee weapons, but then a police station is gonna have some decent loot, so we are going to encounter level 2 or level 3 NPCs with shotguns and pistols. And then of course if we go over to a bunker or, high tier loot zone like the airport, there we are going to find level 4 and level 5 NPCs. Also, the 1.2 update brought a new type of NPC to the video game, and that is the abandoned bunker NPCs. They are going to be high tier NPCs, right? Level 4 and level 5. They will be fully kitted, but they won't carry pistols or shotguns or assault rifles. They will have melee weapons and bows. I guess the lore behind it is that they are looting the abandoned bunkers, so they are trying to be stealthy with the melee weapons and the bows just to now wake up the razors. As for the loot that these abandoned bunker NPCs drop, it seems to be just like every other NPC. They will drop us some of the weapons that they have, and then clothes, backpacks, and some other random loot like toolboxes and whatnot. I haven't seen any unique loot on them, at least not yet. I was thinking maybe they will drop us things that we can use down in the bunkers, like fuses. We need fuses to power on the bunkers, so I was thinking that they will drop us a couple of fuses here and there, and maybe they can drop fuses, but I just haven't seen any yet. One abandoned bunker NPC did drop a ton of cash money though. 400 bucks, that's a ton of money right there on one NPC. Not bad at all. As for their behavior, it seems like they have a few new moves. While out of combat, they perform a bunch of new idle animations. They're kind of just hanging out, messing about with their inventory or like with their weapons, not with their inventory because they can't open their backpacks, but you know what I mean. They're like swinging around their spears and they're checking out their weapons. It also said in the patch notes that when engaged, we can expect NPCs to utilize new tactics, such as retreating, moving to the sides, and trying to break the line of sight before they start to engage us again. I haven't seen all that much of these new tactics, at least not yet, but they do seem to be moving around some more, at least a lot more than they did before. And they can also figure out if they have an ally in the line of fire, and they will hold fire and either wait for the ally to move, or they are going to move themselves so they can start to blast again. So they're not going to blast each other by mistake. If one NPC is in front of the other NPC, they're not gonna blast each other. And there we go. I think we've covered all the changes when it comes to the NPCs. So we are going to stop here for today. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out this video. I hope you have enjoyed. In case you did, be sure to drop some stuff and things down below. Make sure to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.